Wilson doesn't realise he's muted. You're muted, mate.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting.
Hey guys, it's me, Wilson, and I am back for another video on F1 23. We're here for... Is this the second league race I've uploaded? I already done a few league races before this. I done Kota and Bahrain in PSGL, but for the sake of my mental health, I'm not going to be talking over them or doing it, because pretty much, in summary, Bahrain qualified P8, got damage, then finished no clue where. Then Kota qualified P8 again, I think, on for a podium due to strategy, and I got a stupid drive-through for avoiding cars on track that were spun around. There was literally a car spun around miles behind me, and the game wanted me to let it by, so that's logic right there. That's just, you know, that's the game right there we need. But apart from that, it's been an okay season so far. The first two rounds actually got voided because of the tyre wear glitch, which means the tyres just were not equal in every car. Some cars had more tyre wear, some had less. So first two rounds have been voided, so we're on 0 points, and that is also the reason we are using the multiplayer car today. But nevertheless, let's get into the action. You can see we're on inters there at the start. That was just because we started off with a little bit of a drizzle. We went out in inters, didn't really need to, but we thought may as well. We are P15, but you could be P1 right now, and it pretty much means nothing, as the whole track is out in softs, or every car is out in softs, and it's going to be pretty much a one-shot qualifying now. You could maybe save and fuel for two, but we fueled for one, as have most. So let's see how this lap goes. There's a lot of pressure in this lap. You want to be on the limit or close to the limit, and you really just, you can't afford a mistake at all, really, unless it's a very minor one. But let's see how we do. First, so far, turn 1, 2 and 3 have looked fairly clean. Nothing crazy, but it's looked clean, and that's really what we need so far. I'd say this is looking like a lap that could see us through. But let's see how we go through the middle sector, the sector that means the most. We do a 0.8 first sector, which I have no clue how good it is right now, as the track was still not 100%. Going through this long right now, very hard to get the front end tucked in there, and then this corner, you can take a few lines here, you can go tight, or you can set up the late apex. We do the late apex. You can see the deltas just flying up now as we come into the last sector now. And going through this corner, you really want to hit that curb nicely, and we do hit it very nicely. This has been a fairly safe lap, but hopefully it's still enough to see us through. One more corner to go. We fling it, and we do miss the apex a little bit there. That was probably a minor mistake, but let's see if it will see us through. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking coming up to the line when you do not have a representative delta, but we put it P7, and I believe we were one of the last cars to cross the line, so I was pretty confident at that point we would be safely through, and yeah, we got through it in P9, and yeah, not much more to add there. We just done a pretty safe lap, nothing too crazy, didn't need anything too spectacular to get through to Q2 there. But yeah, those one-shot instances at the end are always interesting, as you know, there's just a lot of pressure, as it's no one wants to get knocked out in Q1. That's the probably one of the worst feelings you can have, getting knocked out in Q1. So that sees us safely through to Q2, and because of that, we've actually saved a set of tires. So have most. A few people went out on a soft set, which I don't really understand. They went out on a soft set at the start, so they've only got, they've used 2 sets already. But yeah, P5 on a used tire run, and now we are on our second run. This is on fresh. These are the laps that do matter, and we could be through on one run here if we do it nicely. So let's see how this goes. We make a little bit of a mistake there, not very obvious, but just a small one. Coming up to the last corner now. Can we do this? Yeah, we do that fairly well. The start of this lap, I remember, was a bit shaky though. There was a lot of time in the start from what I remember. We done 9.3, that puts us P4 provisionally. And I'm sure we're not going to stay P4 though, because that lap was not ideal. Otis goes just ahead of us. So now we've got one final run in Q2. We've got to improve this run. Pretty crucial we do. as I don't think that first run will be enough. P6, it's a shame as we made a few errors in that first run, but we have this lap to... I don't know the word. I forgot the word. Nevertheless, we've got one more lap and the pressure is on. We've got to get to Q3. It'd be nice to get to Q3, that's always the goal. So going into turn 1 now, braking just before the 50-meter board, down to 4th gear. We go a little bit too deep there. We don't really get the front end tucked in, and that's us 100, 200 downs. Then we have 2 jabs at the wheel there. That wasn't very tight either. Now coming through this banked left-hander, and we're 200s down on our previous first sector. This has not been a great lap already. There's already time in that first sector, but we're now 7.5 sector 1. Taking it through this long right-hander very quickly. We do gain a tiny bit of time there, and then through this quick right-hander we're back to matching our delta. No meter board though, which makes us go a little bit too tight into this corner, but we are just slightly green. Through this long left-hander, the car's screaming on its tyres, and we have a huge snap, and that loses us a whole 10th. I do not think we're going to be able to take this 10th back. Going into the last sector now, we take a little bit too much curb, and this looks like it's going to be a tricky lap to revitalise. Now coming up to the last corner, are we going to be able to gain a 10th and a half? No, we're not, so we just back out. And yeah, that's a shame. That's an extremely stupid mistake from me. The annoying thing is we needed 200s to get through, which was easily there. Gee, that's an amateur mistake, a very amateur mistake. We should not be doing things like that at all. So I was really angry with myself with that. But thankfully, we've got a full race ahead of us. And because of that mistake, we decided we're going to start in the soft compound of tyre. Just to see what we can do. We're P11. You may as well take as much risk as you can. There's literally nothing else to lose. It's not like we're going to lose points. So, yeah, for context, Yarno's brake pedal broke this race, or in quali, so he's not going to move off the grid. I saw a lot of people saying PSGL should have restarted. No, they shouldn't have, because it was said before the race that they couldn't restart because we didn't know each other's pit boxes if we restarted, which I'm sure Yarno agreed with, so you should all too. So, nevertheless, we've got 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and away we go. Do we get a good launch compared to the cars around us? We're on the soft compound tyre and we get a fairly average launch, as there's a huge hit there from, I think that was Philip to Brendan, going around the outside of Matthias, that is, I think, as someone's off into a wall. We're 3 wide now. We're trying to get a move done. We're going to try to go round the outside of Philip Presinator. He's also on the soft compound of tyres, so it's crucial we make this move stick, and that's P7. That's 4 positions gained from turn 1 pretty much, and a very good start. We've now got Marcel Kiefer next to us, but one of my worries was that this track is so hard to overtake at, and Marcel's going to have more ERS than us already because of that. That incident at the start, we already had to use a fair amount to pass a few. So we're in 70%, but you can see we're all over Marcel Kiefer's rear end. Can we get anything made into the next corner? And we're not going to be able to do anything to the last corner, but we're going to try and set it up for this straight. Try set it up for turn 1. Can we make anything work of it? We're going to use so much battery. You can see we're closing a lot. We're going to try go down the inside, and I wish I used more ERS here just to get a little bit more alongside. We try go down the inside, we go a little bit deep. We're pushing them onto the curb, seeing if we can do anything at all. And then through this long right-hander, we're banging wheels a little bit. We're going to try go round the outside, use the banking, and it's not going to be possible. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it. We're not going to be able to make any inroads. We've got no ERS. Marcel's got a lot of it. And yeah, I wish I just used a little bit more ERS there and we would have had the position, but I was too worried about trying to save it, and that really hurt us. That really hurt us. That's a big mistake from me. Racecraft did not shine through there, let's put it that way. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. We could have easily been P6 now. It's only 1 position, but it's better than, you know, the higher the better. But as you can see, Barry and Otis are actually having a huge collision here. I think Otis nearly caused a crash, and we're now down the inside of Otis. He also started on the soft compound tyre, and we cannot make anything work. So not much we can do there. Moving on to lap 8 now. We're still in the same position, still P7. Or was it P7?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, P7. As Barry goes deep, and yeah, that happens. That's us in P6. That was not Barry's fault, as a VSC comes out, just for your information. That was not Barry's fault at all. That was just this game's contact model being awful. Which which is a shame because Marcel literally just tapped him and then he was put into a wall. So makes no sense. But yeah, is what it is. Moving on to lap 9, though, safety car is, or virtual safety car is ending. It's also I can't speak today. It's always very tricky in the VSCs trying to get the time right with the delta and not get a drive-through, because you could be a second up, brake late into a corner, and you're immediately in the red. So we played it fairly safe. We also tried to save a bit of VRS during that, but we weren't able to. Moving on to lap 12 now, though, and Otis pits, which was kind of annoying. I was hoping he would stay out and make sure we could keep this DRS train alive, but he didn't. So that's ruined our race a little bit. That means we're probably going to get overtaken by Manley and lose another spot. So yeah, I guess that's how it goes. Bit of a shame, but as I predicted, Tom Manley does overtake us, as DRS is the most powerful thing on the planet. And yeah, you can see he's a long way up the road now, a few laps later. But nevertheless, we're now going to pull into the pit lane, lap 15, and we're going to put on a set of medium compound tires. You can see Barry's actually got a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane, so that's not going to be removable as we pull into the pits. What tires does Barry put on? He puts on a set of hards, actually. I think he might have started on the medium compound of tires. Yeah, coming out of the pit lane now, you can see Jake's made a big progress. Did Jake pit? I can't remember if Jake pit or not. I'm not sure what happened mostly in this race, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, we're now just going to have to push head down. You can see the gap to Barry's 2.5 in lap 18, but he's also got DRS off Jake right now, so that gap's going to fly up. But yeah, we're just going to push as hard as we can. We did have the fastest lap until Dylan took it, but at this point it's an awkward situation. You do not want to use ERS to catch the cars, because you're pretty much just hoping you catch them, then you use your ERS to pass them. So we're trying to be fairly safe with the battery usage, but we do skip a few laps forward and we catch. So yeah, as I said, we didn't want to use ERS, as we knew, or we hoped, we would have the pace to catch, and we did. So we caught Philip. We're now in DRS, which is a blessing. I've also forgot to mention this race, we underfueled on accident, so I had to do a lot of lifting and coasting. That was not fun. But moving on to lap 21 now, you can see we're all over Philip. I don't know if he had damage or he was just genuinely struggling, because he was taking no speed through these corners. So I think it was either he was just really struggling with the tyres, or he had damage. But we're going to try and make a double overtake here. Actually go down the inside of Fab as well, very tight into turn 1. And we make 2 overtakes in 1, as Tom Manley has a huge snap on the exit of turn 1. But now we're going to try and get Tom Manley's way. You can see he's flashing. This means he has below 10%. And that's us gain 3 positions in a few laps. We're up to P7 now. Still 2 cars to pit ahead of us as well. And I believe 2 cars ahead of us have a penalty. So what, that's like net P4, P3? Something like that. I think we're in contention for a podium at this point, which is good. But the issue is as well, Luke Smith is out of DRS and he's in that pack for the podium. And if you're not in that pack for the podium, you're going to lose so much time, as DRS is so powerful. But you can see, moving on to lap 24 now, we do get into the 910s, but we just get into it too late, and we're trying everything to use our battery to catch. You can see Luke Smith is flashing as well. He's using everything to keep us out. But my main concern was not getting in this DRS now is also going to lead Pookie to be able to overtake us, and we have no battery. You can see I thought I was in there, but we did not get it, and we're out again. And you're going to be able to see the power of Slipstream and DRS this game. Yeah, there's no point in fighting it, because he's just miles ahead. There's really nothing I could do. I think he also had fresher tyres than me, so yeah, not really much I could do there. But we move on to lap 29. Thankfully, Pookie was able to drag us back into the DRS, so it kind of saved us. We've also got Danny Moreno, our teammate, just behind us. He's on a set of soft compound tyres, as Tom Manley has retired and actually caused a safety car. So that's also going to make things very interesting. Looks like we'll be pitting onto the soft compound tyre. I feel like last game you could get away with it, but the tyre difference this game is massive. So we're going to pit, but I feel like I didn't mention this at the start of the race as well. Sorry, I've not done this commentary thing in a while. It's also due to rain at the end of this race. So there was discussion about maybe, gambling on a set of inters and hoping the rain hits hard enough. But I don't know, I was 50-50 about it, and I feel like if you're 50-50, you should go for the safe option. But you can see Josh gambled for it, and I think a car ahead of us also gambled for it. Can't remember. But yeah, that's a fresh set of softs on our car,
you're definitely finishing with enough,
which is nice. That's going to make life much easier for us. But yeah, safety car restart. I can't remember if there's another inter-runner in front of us. I think there might be, or there's definitely one behind us. I can tell you that much. But it's still not raining yet, I don't think, from what I'm seeing on my screen. But yeah, safety car restart. We're going to hope we can get a good launch and get Josh into turn 1 as he's going to have no grip. And we do go. We've got battery on. You can see we're losing time in the straight. And that's because we actually left it in lean mix as we're trying to save fuel under the safety car. We're going to see where Josh is going. He defends the inside. We go round the outside of Josh Adu. Can we get the move stick? And yes, we can. Barry Burman's up next. But he's going to be trying to overtake Pookie, who's on the intermediate tyres. I was correct. There's one more car ahead of us on the inter tyre. And that's a nice move. And that takes us up into P5. We've got Otis just ahead of us. And Patrick as well. That you can't see on the leaderboard. But now that's very nice. 2 positions gained. That's going to make our life a lot easier. But we've now got Patrick Seapos just ahead of us. And he's really struggling for grip. He stayed out on his old compounded tyres. And you can see he's struggling so much. It's also raining at this point as well. We've got not as much grip as you'd really want. And now coming through the last corner, you can see he's struggling so much on his old set of soft tyres. We're going to use our battery. We're going to go down the inside very close to his rear end there. And that's going to be the move for P4. So we're now in the fight for a podium. Who would have guessed? P11 to now in the fight for a podium. So it's looking like a good race so far. It's going to be tough, but I'm hoping the cars ahead fight enough that we can maybe do something to get this podium position. You can see they're weaving all over the place. We're just trying to save battery, so when we do catch them, or if something happens, we can make that move. We did have to use a lot of battery overtaking cars, which is the issue here. Yeah, let's see what happens. Lap 35. We're going to have one more lap to go in a second, and that is now. Coming through the last corner, Barry looks like he's going to be trying to make a move on Otis. And again, we're not going to use as much battery as we need to. We're going to use a little bit here just to close in and make sure we defend from Danny Bresney. And you can see Otis goes a little bit deep there, so this is helping us. Otis has also used a lot more battery than us. I believe we've got a couple more percent than him. You can see he's flashing actually, so that means he's below 10%, and this is going to make our life a little bit easier to get close to him. You can see we're just trying to sit in his slipstream. We've got so much more power than him. I did think about maybe going for a move here, but it's a little bit risky. We do try and fake him, just trying to put him off, maybe put him under pressure. The track conditions are also getting a lot worse. We've got no grip, and you can see Otis is really struggling through these corners. He's really struggling to find this grip on that soft compounded tyre. We're taking a lot of different lines from him and still able to follow closely, so this is looking like a good sign, but we're just praying Barry can drop him out of DRS. That's what we need. You can see he still gets DRS in this part, but we're only going to use a little bit of our ERS because we want to have more than him. We want to be above that 20% range to get as much power as we can up to this line. It's going to be a really close run up to the line. You can see one more corner to go in this Grand Prix. We use a little bit too much curb there, but we're now going to blast the ERS. We're going to try keep it flat. We lift a little bit and then we pin it through the last banking. We're going to sit in his slipstream, pull out. Can we get P3 across the line? And we just get it across the line. And that was very close. 200ths of a second there at the last at the line. And yeah, that's nice to get a podium. Obviously I didn't show round 1 and 2, but it was nice to finally get a good result, or finally have a race where I enjoyed it and we could actually race and something didn't go wrong. Because as much as it is about the races going wrong that's annoying, it's also, it ruins the enjoyment of it. It ruins the fun. You know, Bahrain I had nothing to fight with, and then Kota I literally had no cars to fight with. So really happy with that. You can see my face cam, I was pretty gassed as well. It was just a nice boost of motivation to finally have some fun, and we race because we like racing, you know. So glad with that result. That's actually us P3 in the standings because the first 2 rounds got voided, so we've kind of lucked into that a little bit, which is nice. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded round 1 and 2, but I really just can't bear myself to look at those races, and I don't really think you'd enjoy them anyway. So I thought I would just start from Zandvoort. I am going to call this round 3, but it's kind of round 1, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm going to upload a lot more videos. I've got a few more. I've actually got vlog content style videos coming from McLaren and Silverstone, which keep an eye out for. They're actually really cool. I hope you guys enjoy the real life type of recording, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next race will be Kota, which I'm not sure, or not Kota. What was the race? Why am I lagging? Brazil, that's the one. Next race will be Brazil, so hopefully you guys enjoy that one. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment if you want any video ideas or whatever, and I'll see you guys later. Adios.